Hello, hello, people. Shit. Hey, Plusser, hey, Serpent. Yeah. I mean, we maybe do, maybe not. I just want to stream because I need to stream for a couple hours before I need to take my meds, and so I just need to cheer myself up a little bit. Oh yeah, may I recommend Vim? Yep. Yeah, hope everyone is all right. I had to take a break for an entire week for reasons. Yeah, for reasons. But hopefully it will go uphill from here on now. Maybe not. Uh, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And maybe I could do some some of this. Oh yeah, this music now, Knights of the Old Republic OST is associating with streaming for me. So, which means that I now also just listen to it when I do regular job because it's kind of like, it's just the music I do programming alongside with. Yeah, and I don't even know why I have Emacs open, to be honest. I guess it's just so something is opened, Oh, look at this. Scary looking Lisp code. He must be so good. Am I streaming in just chatting, by the way? Yeah, I am. Nice. Man, it's so cool, so good to be like a big streamer, because when you're a big streamer, you don't even need to think about the content. You just start the stream, like 10,000 people instantly join and start entertaining themselves. And all you need to do is to open like Reddit, because of course, naturally, you have a personal subreddit, and you just like read posts. And this goes on for like 5 hours, and then you fuck off till the next day. How do you get to that state, though, is a secret. Not many people know. Do you mean text editors or code editors? Yeah, this is a actually a good question. I don't even know what's the difference. Is Emacs a text editor or is it a code editor? Is Emacs an editor? Who the fuck knows? Yeah, oh, by the way, this is like irrelevant. Let me comment this out from my config. But yeah, so I haven't been streaming for a week, and you know why? This is the most stupidest reason why. Hey Joseph, hello, yeah. I actually got myself into a very interesting dental situation. Later on Friday, on like, well, in the night, my tooth started hurting, and then it hurted throughout the entire Saturday. And at the end of the Saturday, I had to like rush to dentist ER. And yeah, ER dentist, they just opened. So like, actually, yeah, I have Krita. I might actually write it out, like draw it out. What happened to my teeth? So you have that and kidney stone. I never had kidney stones. Hopefully, it's gonna be a while. But yeah, so one of my bottom six teeth, which are called like first molars. So it's like, do I even have webcam? Yeah, they're like here. It's one of your chewing teeth. uh, apparently it has a very big infection, like a a mothership of infection. And so the way it looks like is, here's the teeth, right? Let's draw it like that. Maybe not like that. Maybe whoa. I don't know how did that happen. So yeah, let me draw it like that. Right. So teeth, and here's like a gum, right? It's actually slightly like higher, like here. Hey Leonte, what's up? And so what ER dentists did is they just like opened my teeth up. So they just literally cracked this open, and they kind of just cleared my root channels so that bad stuff can come outside. And then they sent me home, just told me, drink like whatever painkillers you have to survive till Monday, because on Monday on Monday I just went and made like MRI, a scan of my tooth, because this is one of the downsides. My team lead just got gallstones. Oh my god, it's fucking awful. I never had them, but I can imagine those are awful. So yeah, one of the downsides of small towns, cities, is that you can have like good dentists here, but usually dentist office don't have like MRI at hand, so you have to go to a separate facility to make a scan, and none of them like work on weekends, right? So first I just survived till Monday on pretty strong painkillers, and on Monday I made a scan that revealed that I have huge infection. So like infection is here, like under one of the roots. This is like all infected. Like this is like infection. Let me actually have it with like a nasty ass like like this color, right? So this is all infected. Like this is like infection. And this is also like infection. And you know what's worse? The worst thing is that infection, probably because of the like pressure, right? Because when you chew, you pressurize this tooth a lot, and infection actually got under the teeth. So infection also got here. And now this whole infection, it just kind of, it presses on the tooth from the bottom, and it like noticeably lifted the tooth up. And so it hurted like fuck. Yeah, and so naturally doctor put me on a pretty like strong antibiotics. Yeah, infection rare cases could go to the brain. Yeah, I don't know, it didn't go, maybe it went to my brain, and that's why I'm like such a like so autistic. But yeah, I don't know yet. The thing is, this stuff, they can gradually clear up, right? Because the doctor cleared my root channels, and so they are pretty confident that they could eventually get these two cleared away. But this stuff beneath the tooth bone itself, this is like super bad, because apparently you can't just where's my fucking orange? You can't just drill here, right? You can't just drill here. And so this has to like get somehow cured on its own, or I guess with the help of antibiotics, or I will have to have my tooth removed, right? And the reason for this apparently is so fucking stupid. So first, so your first molar can have different amount of root canals. I think sometimes it's 2, most of the times it's 3, and there are like rare cases where there is a 4 and 5 channel. I don't know, it's not channels, it's canals. And I had root canals treated on this tooth like 13 years ago, like all the way back in Far East Russia. And those, like, I don't know how to call them, like fucking incompetent retards, they found three canals. I don't know, like three canals. They treated those and called it a day. And so one canal remained untreated and it was rotting this like almost 15 years. And this infection, it like slowly build up throughout the years because like your immunity really tries to stop it, but there is like a point when it's too weak to deal with it. And now there's just enough build up to where it just starts to destroying your tooth from the inside. Yeah, and so of course these doctors, they found all four canals, they cleared them out, and now it's a matter of whether I respond to antibiotics or not. So yeah, this is the fun story. And now currently I am like right now my tooth would be hurting if not painkillers. And so yeah, I am on painkillers since the last like Friday. There's a little bit of a good news. Hey Juan. It's fine. There's a little bit of a good news because on Sunday I had to take painkillers like every 4 hours. And today I actually only basically took it before the stream. So the distance between intake of the drugs, it increases, which means that the inflammation slowly... oh no! I don't even have nerves there, plus R. I don't have nerves anymore. Like the tooth was dead for 15 years. It literally hurts because this thing pushes on the tooth from below. And it pushes so hard that the tooth, it just kind of starts, it feels like somebody like pulls on it, constantly. That's why it hurts. And naturally all of the tissue around it is inflamed. That's why it hurts. So it's not even because of the nerve. I don't even fucking have a nerve there anymore. This is how bad it is. GNU genitals. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. So worst case scenario, I don't think I'm gonna die because like infection supposedly didn't go anywhere. But worst case, I will have this tooth removed and I will need an implant because I also don't have a tooth near it. So I don't have my fifth, and worst case, I'm gonna get my sixth removed, which means like bye $1,000, right? Why hasn't a dentist noticed this before? This is a very good question, Jeff, because I haven't been to dentist for many years. Because why the fuck would I go to dentist if none of my teeth hurt? Yeah, what the fuck? I mean, to be honest, I was at the dentist like 4 years ago doing some other tooth, unrelated tooth, and I only scanned that one tooth. I haven't scanned my entire like jaw. If I did, maybe it would have been an easy clap situation. But yeah, apparently this fucking Among Us tooth giving me problems now. Yeah, so that's one update, I guess, that happened throughout the week. And yeah, there's not really any more updates. Other than that, I actually didn't even take time off of work because most of the action happened last weekend. And on Monday, I did all the scans like before workday even started. Because apparently when your teeth hurt, you don't have any problem waking up at 6 a.m. to go, take a scan at 8. Waking up is just not a problem anymore, because you you didn't fucking sleep. Yeah, yeah, so that was fun. What else is on our daily agenda? Uh, 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 uh. Right. Oh, another thing. I'm apparently somehow like when I switched to programming, I pretty much lost uh so like 10 times less people started watching me compared to Hollow Knight speedruns, but somehow like I gotten my first ever sponsorship offer not long ago. My first ever like software and game development related sponsorship offer. I'm not gonna name the company, and I, of course, like politely declined, but still kind of weird because when I used to stream Hollow Knight, I had like on peak about like 200 average viewers or something like that, and I mean, like small indie like publishers or game devs would very often like DM and offer free keys and stuff like that. I always kind of declined because I never wanted to monetize the stream, to be honest, because I do it for fun. I don't really want to commit necessarily unless I go like super big, where like not committing would be kind of like stupid. But as long as the stream is relatively small, I'm just doing it for fun and without any what's the right word? Fuck. Well, I guess commitment, right? Without any commitments. So I always decline any sort of sponsorship deals. And I declined again. It wasn't JavaScript ID. No, no, no. I'm not gonna tell what it is, right? Because the ad like the email person was nice, and so there's no reason. But it's of course it is a like tech related product, right? I can tell you that. No, 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 it's not betting. Like, if it was betting, I would just straight up ignore the email. I would probably ghost them. I don't know. It was a reasonable product, you know. Like it is something that in other circumstances I wouldn't be. Uh, it wouldn't be too cringe to like advertise for, so it's not like some AI slope startup, it's not like betting company, it's not like crypto NFT bullshit. It is just like a regular product, like a regular paid product. Which was quite surprising. I would, yeah, same. Like I had a lot of job offers that would probably make me a lot of money that I've declined just because I am in this situation where I can pick and choose, right? If like my children needs to eat and I'm sitting like without a job for like a year, can't find anything, at some point you have to put like your family uh it's like at some point you have to like, I guess, decide what's more important, like your principles or your family. But I'm in a situation where I don't really need a job, so I was always declining those, like betting companies, like crypto stuff. Even though crypto stuff usually offers you to write Rust for money, which is, I mean, of course, kind of, I think, better than writing like Python for money. But you know what I mean. And yeah, I don't want any like don't don't want to deal anything related to betting. Even though I read on the news that the founder of uh like the most, I guess, the biggest betting company in the US right now, Polymarket, I think. Is it Polymarket? Yeah, Polymarket. It's the one where you can, bet on like what will be the next like big streamer crash out, or on stuff like where you can bet on anything. And its founder, he got like the youngest billionaire or something. So of course, this is an industry with a lot of money if you don't have any ethics. which I somehow still have, apparently. Yeah, you know, the only thing that is staying between you and your life goals is like your morals and whether you want to be cringe or not. Because I think if I really needed money, I would start like, I don't know, like fucking right wing grifter channel on YouTube or something like that, where I would complain about woke video games whole day, and I would get a lot of subs. Yeah. It's not even right wing, right? It's just like like a gamer, like toxic gamer thing. But anyway, that's kind of it. I don't even know what to really like else to talk about because that was the weekend. Yeah, hopefully I will get back to normal content where all of the yapping happens organically because of the code situation at hand. But yeah, what can we do? I wanted to like try out a couple things. I actually spent like a day setting up VPNs recently because, as you may know, in Russia started blocking like video and voice calls over WhatsApp and Telegram, and they actually gotten like pretty good at deep packet inspection. So now, in order to prevent that, you need like a fucking China grade VPN solution, like X-ray, like reality X-ray and stuff. It is not illegal to use VPN. It is um like you know, the phrasing around the law is very weird. It's like it's not illegal to use VPN as a concept, but it is illegal to access blocked resources. And it's not even like that. It's like it's complicated. It's not really illegal. Uh, like it's not illegal, but if they want to jail you, they will figure something out, right? We have a saying in Russian which sounds like "был бы человек, статья найдется," which roughly translates to as long as there is a person, there will be a felony. So if they want to fuck you up, they will. Yeah, it's basically if they want to get you to jail, get you in jail, they will find a reason. Like, don't worry about it. And yeah, and I installed like a very private like VPN server on a VPS and started giving away some keys to my relatives so they can like use WhatsApp normally. If there is a will, there is a way. Yeah, I guess you can tell that. Yeah, that fits. But this is, you know, you can use this in a motivational way. And that saying is strictly about putting someone into a prison. Russian VPN services are really cheap now. I mean, yeah, yeah. So it's not technically not against the law to use VPNs. It's just, you know, it's depending on what you use it to access. Even though like Instagram is officially called like terrorist organization in Russia, they specifically clarified that using Instagram as a regular user is not illegal. I think the only thing that is illegal is making money on Facebook, on like meta platforms. So if you're a Russian blogger and you make money on Instagram, I think in this case, you're technically like engaging in a monetary relationships with like terrorists. So yeah. I mean, the reason why Facebook or I guess Instagram is declared as a terrorist organization is very like stupid. It was, I think, like the start of the war or something, where like a lot of like Ukrainians, bamboozled by being bombed, like were writing stuff on Instagram, like kill all Russians, like good Russian is dead Russian, and Instagram was refusing to ban that, like as a hate speech, and our government used this as an excuse to, okay, if Facebook is fine with this, then they are like supporting terrorists, and so they declared like Instagram a terrorist organization. Like since then Facebook actually started banning it, but if Russian government declares you a terrorist organization, it's like forever. Or it is forever until somebody in the government like personally wants you to get unbanned. Is it legal for? No, it is not illegal. Russia actually has no problem with it as long as you pay all the taxes. The issue why Russians inside of the Russia don't work for companies on the outside is because of the outside companies. Kind of, if you're an American company, you are not allowed to make any business with Russian illegal entity. So if an American company wants to hire a Russian, you kind of have to get them outside of the country, right? So yeah, so I, for example, as a contractor, I work with American companies all the time, and it's totally fine. Even though I'm Russian citizen, my company, yeah, my it's so yeah. Which side is the Iron Curtain? Yeah, yeah, so true, so true. We never block anyone; they block us. We are just innocent victims. Yeah, hello, hello. Hope you're doing well. But yeah, yeah. So even though I only have Russian passport, I have like a legal entity opened in Serbia, and this is always kind of enough for any company, European, American. There was one contract I had with company. Fuck, I'm gonna get like scolded for it. Cyprus is not a part of European Union, is it? Am I stupid? Wait. Is Cyprus EU? Oh shit, it is a part of EU. Okay, okay, never mind, never mind. I'm fucking literal. I'm just literal. Yeah, yeah. So I thought to say that I worked with EU companies, with American companies, and with company in Cyprus, but I guess that there's no difference. Yeah, 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 yeah. There was a thing when Russia fined Google for like one fucking bajillion dollars. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And right. So at least now my babushkas are fucking imbued with free and unencumbered internet access. The only thing that bothers me a little bit is that since my VPN server is in Europe, if my babushkas start like abusing torrents, I might get banned because like piracy is actually kind of illegal in European Union. Yeah, so I tried my best to like ban BitTorrent traffic and ban like trackers. It's not that I think that my babushkas will try to abuse torrents. It might happen accidentally, Yeah, yeah, because you should, right? Right? Because if you don't do it, if you have a VPS somebody like in Hetzner, they will just fucking roast your ass, and you will never have like a VPS with them again. And it's not only torrents, it's also general like pirated content access. I was reading a story on Twitter where a guy accessed like HD Reska or something. So it's like a pirate movies website with like movies in Russian or something like that in Germany, and he had a fucking fine over a mail. So he had to pay 800 euros for watching some like bullshit ass movie like Aquaman or something. in practice. So maybe I should have gotten like PPS. Maybe I should have picked up a particular country. Yeah, because I picked Finland. I don't know how stingy is Finland about it. But even though I picked VPS in Finland, I hosted on Hetzner, and Hetzner is a German company, so maybe it doesn't matter, right? Most of the big trackers are in Europe. Is Root Tracker in Europe? Hey, Reiken, hey, Lada. Hello, hello. Hey, people. I didn't. I would be super surprised, really surprised if Root Tracker was in Europe. Uh, yeah, I wonder. I wonder where is it. I mean, I know it is a Russian BitTorrent tracker, but I actually don't know where it's hosted. And quick Google doesn't tell me anything. Yeah, well, whatever. Yeah, there is Cloudflare in front of it, of course, but right, it's somewhere. Originally, it is somewhere. And I know that the actual data is hosted on users' machines naturally because it's P2P, but I wonder where the server is. Well, right, I guess technically even the server can be anywhere because they themselves don't host pirated information, which is slightly different than hosting like pirated movies straight up. So maybe they could be anywhere. Well, not in Russia because in Russia it is actually straight up just banned. Hey Akaha, hello. What's up? Let's switch YouTube to live because I don't trust it. Yeah. And I was actually like editing files with Trump today. So Emacs has this thing called Trump, transparent remote access multiple protocol, blah blah blah. How do you fucking? Okay, let's just like click on it. Yeah, this thing. Right, and you can just open files in Emacs like over SSH, over like Docker, over like it supports a bunch of fucking protocols, and it works so well. And it even tries to be smart and hide latency from you. So what it does, it kind of copies the content of a file to your local computer. You edit it, and when you press save, it actually just like SCPs it back to the server, which is pretty cool. And if you don't want that, you can. It also supports SSHFS. So this shit is actually pretty fucking strong. And it's interesting that it is a protocol, but I've never seen other implementations other than Emacs. Yeah, boomer vibes. You see Emacs, boomer vibes, naturally. No copyright, 1999. So yeah, I like it more than using Vim on the server because Vim on the server usually has stupid like formatting rules by default. Everything is 8 wide tabs, which is like, bro, I'm editing a JSON file. What do you mean 8 wide tabs? Right? So it's just more convenient to do this. Hey Sushi, hello. Yeah, I was like telling the sad story of my life today with epic like pictures. This is my tooth. This is infection. Yeah. And I'm like right now I am on drugs. So I can be a bit incoherent. So I figured I just stream to kind of maybe get back to things. In the upcoming days, it will be decided if I pay like 100 euro for fixing my tooth, or I will have to pay like $1,000 for an implant in the future. Thank you, Lana. I appreciate it. Uh, oh, it's a Kakos emote. He's a cool streamer. I often watch him on Lurk. He's a like Russian speedrunner. I think he's from like he's Russian speaking, but I don't actually know if he's from Russia. He might be from some other post-Soviet country. Estonian. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Because like with post-Soviet countries, you can like never be sure, especially these days. You know. Yeah, I hate teeth problems. Especially the reason is super stupid. I just to repeat, like 15 years ago, I had this tooth treated, and doctors made a mistake, and I'm paying for it like 15 years later. Yikes. So if you want to curse your mortal enemies, wish their first molar to have four root canals. Yeah, instead of three. Apparently, so I read some studies for my ethnic group, which is like some Eastern Slav, I don't know, having like four root canals instead of three, it's like some 10 or like 20% chance. And so I guess our doctors back in Russia, they're just not used to this shit. Hey Phoenix, what's up? I've never been to Tallinn. I've only been to Vilnius, which is in Lithuania. It's nearby, but of course it's a different country. It was quite nice. Teeth RNGs, yeah. And you reminded me that RNGesus used to be a Twitch emote that got removed when RNGesus face got cancelled for like domestic abuse or something. That's some ancient Twitch lore for people. You used to be literally like type RN Jesus, and it was like an emote of praying guy who like looked low key like Jesus, but now there's nothing, which is kind of weird, right? When PogChamp guy got cancelled, they just choose another emote. They're still like, yeah, they're still PogChamp. Now it's just like an alias for Komodo. Uh, Now it's just an alias for Komodo Hype. Like it's just HD version of Komodo Hype. But they haven't replaced Aaron Jesus with anything, which is quite interesting. Maybe emote was not that popular, although it was just like a default emote in speedrunning communities when you try to kind of wish good luck, in an RNG heavy moments. So yeah, it's sad. Twitch like destroyed its own culture. Let me find some other music. I know what we're gonna do. Lately, I've been like I've been listening pretty much exclusively to game OSTs. They will all get cancelled. I don't know about that. I don't think there was like a bot. I don't think bot friend will ever get cancelled. I think he's fine. Like in chiptune, I don't really default to game OSTs. I mean, there are a bunch of game OSTs that are not chiptune, right? Uh, there are a lot of kind of just regular music from games. I've been vibing to like PS1, PS2 era of jungle a lot. I've also I like been thinking what to do with ads on Twitch, since like it's really weird. They kind of have to run ads, which so I used to run ads because they would guarantee that you don't have pre-rolls, but now apparently it's not a thing anymore because the ad manager says that you don't have pre-rolls, but then you still somehow have them. And I've been thinking to just like turn on politics and sensitive social issues for my stream, which supposedly disables monetization on your channel, like ad monetization. But then I don't want people to get like a wrong impression. Even though I kind of talked about politics today, I don't do it often. Maybe I should. Maybe I should just turn it on and start constantly talking about politics. Yeah. The fuck? Why is this? Why is Chrono Trigger OST has a fucking gameplay sounds? Let's do this. In Germany, a guy broke off a tool. A tool? You mean a tooth? A tooth in your jaw during root canal. I never knew until problems. Never knew until problems. Oh, fuck. Damn. Oh, no, he actually broke off a tool. So, like, he left a piece of a tool in your tooth? The fuck? I've missed your message. Oh, so he like broke off a probe and this probe just got stuck in the canal? That's fucked up. Especially like in fucking Germany where dental care is like 15 times more expensive than it is here. Like here the entire procedure, however like many not terms, like appointments it will take, is 150 maybe 200 euros tops. And I assume in Germany it's quite a bit more expensive. Go to students, yeah, maybe next time. Maybe when I'm like 98 and I don't care anymore, I can go to students. Oh, excuse me. So what do I do now? Do I just like open a how do big streamers do it? Do I just like open a random video on YouTube and react to it? Or what do we do? I can actually so one thing I wanted to try is switch into Claude. Talk about AI. They react to another React. Meta. Switch into Claude. I actually started using AI at work. It's all of my colleagues, they just started super heavily rely on AI, and I really like see it. So I just don't see a lot of reasons not to do it myself. Especially when like a guy takes a task, like somebody takes like a task and like a day later they drop like a pull request with like 5,000 lines of code. And then there's like PR description, which is just like a bullet points. Like, yeah, man. How do I Yep. Wait, 1 second. One second. Fuck. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I get AI to review it. And then if something breaks, we both just blame Claude. How about that? Be extremely energetic, pause the video every 3 seconds, I make 2-minute comments. After 2 hours, we will have finished one 10-minute video. I mean, you have to add a transformative work for it to count as a fair use, right? So you need to pause and comment. So I guess that's kind of the way you do it. I mean, honestly, I would just make my own videos instead of... I understand that React is like a cheap content. You don't need to pay any... You don't need to put any effort into it. You just kind of open something in React to it, right? Just like watch and discuss it, and you can throw it off for like the algorithm. I watch a guy like pretty regularly. He's a pretty cool dude. Wait, let me... I mean, I don't think anyone on my stream doesn't know about him because this... Oh, and he's actually streaming right now. So yeah, I'm of course talking about like about him. Where the fuck? How do I... yeah, there you go. See, I'm talking about Spherophoria. Spherophoria. Right. Spherophoria. Yeah, there you go. I knew it was him, yeah. Hey, hero. Yeah, I watch him pretty regularly. He's like very cool. And so... Oh, look. Ilionte is here. In his stream. Yeah, so... Yeah, and he's actually like trying to make Twitch work, like actually like full time. And I guess content creation in general. And he was talking about it a bit, like not long ago, and that every time he puts in like a lot of effort. Favorite Latino streamer. Yeah, so he's trying to put a lot of effort into his videos, right? He's actually like puts in the work and then puts on YouTube. And he was talking about how YouTube only like promotes low effort runs. So he would like no live some Wayland client for 2 hours and it will get no views, and then he will put some, you know, no effort rant about C++ and gets like 10 times more views. And I remember he was kind of like discouraged about it, but you know, it's just kind of what you have to do. Because for YouTube especially, it is way important how much you upload than what you upload. And he was like asking if his audience is fine, if from time to time he will just throw in a low effort rant just so algorithm keeps like promoting him, which is, it's like so sad that you have to do this. I'm still his. Actually, I was talking about Dbus first, but unlike me, he actually decided to go for it. I checked out Dbus protocol and libdbus implementation a little bit, and like, fuck no, I'm not gonna do it unless I absolutely must. He's just been rammed. Text editor Emacs, yeah. So yeah, it's like a weird thing. It's, it's same I guess with Toding, right? Because his content is extremely fucking high effort. Toding is probably the most like high effort like programmer on Twitch. And you have to have like some like special mindset to just not give in to the cloud. Because like, I don't know if he personally thought about it, but he can instantly turn his like 100,000 YouTube channel into like a 1,000,000 subscriber channel if he just started like posting slope. Like easily. And yeah, I really don't like that this kind of content is encouraged. And so that's why even when it started really working for me on Twitch, like at the beginning of 2022. So even despite the war, despite the fact that I had to take like 5-6 months of a break, my Twitch was doing very well when I just did like whole night speedruns. But it's like I just didn't want to rely on some fucking overlord that can just pull the plug any moment. I already do it in real life. I also don't want to do it in the internet. I think for me it's way more comfortable that when I just know that I can do a good work and be fairly rewarded for it. Writing gacha games. You meant like gacha, right? There used to be a Polish streamer circa 2015 that I watched that went all in on that. Flash games. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is. But yeah, and by the way, I want to if I can disclaimer, because I know like your guys are weird. Well, not you personally, but overall that oh, like he's a hater, he's a jealous hate. No, actually, I am guilty. I am guilty of enjoying React content. Right? I like the Primagen, like a big secret. I actually like him a lot. I don't watch everything he produces, but I watch like enough. I don't watch a lot of it, but sometimes, like from time to time, I would pop on stream. I would even like interact a little bit, especially when he's programming. I like him as a person too. I like him as a person too. I think he's a very, very like nice, very positive, like very cool dude. He's definitely not my type of streamer in a sense that he's like super energetic, because you can't just watch him on a like second monitor. Like it is impossible. He's always like engaging. He's engaging. You can't just like lurk. And every time I like watch the Prime, I watch Prime. I watched him for 40 minutes, and I'm like tired. I'm like tired because he's just so energetic. So yeah, yeah. I like Prime, but I consume him like sparingly. You know what I mean? Yeah. I watch Casey and question same. I mean, on the other hand, like Casey and I guess John, I guess like it's kind of 50-50, right? But they kind of saved my programming career in a sense. So yeah, but I still watch them and question my. I don't really question my life choices, right? I used to question my life choices, but in retrospective, I really just didn't have any choice. Because the way my life worked, the way I was born, like grew up, where I lived, I really didn't have much choice, let's be honest. It went as it went. Let's cut that part out. Listen to Prime and get tired. It actually, it like supposed to be a compliment, but maybe it didn't sound like that. But yeah, I guess like I have a type of streamer that I enjoy, and I usually enjoy more like laid back streamers. Someone where I can lurk and like occasionally like shit post or something. You know what I mean? So my ideal streamer, like uh yeah, like the ideal streamer for me, if we're taking like really big streamers, is probably Distortion. I don't know how he manages to do this, how he managed to cultivate such a community, but he can have like 7,000 viewers in the chat, and it's still very chill. Somehow, I don't know how it happened, but yeah, he is just the proof that it is in principle possible to be like a very big streamer and very chill, maintain like very like chill atmosphere at the same time. You know what I mean? Because yeah, let me um uh Distortion 2. Yeah, this guy. He's streaming, of course. Yeah, so look at him. He has like 3,000 viewers, and right. If you look at this, I actually don't know if he has followers only mode or not because I follow him, but he just kind of streams games, and now he has like a sponsored Battlefield 6, but usually he would stream some like more some other type of games. And you can see how chat is very chill. You see, like it's not moving at all. It's just kind of, yeah. He used to be Dark Souls speedrunner. And he's also very like old on Twitch. Nah, it's not bots. He has very like what's the word? What's the word? Like organic audience. No, it's not bots, guys. Distortion is real. Yeah, so this is like an kind of a model of an ideal streamer situation for me. Now, if I ever like have, if I could ever have like an orienteer, is this even the word like English speakers use, orienteer? Like a beacon, like a goal. if I ever had like a goal of a streamer who I want to be, like how I want to be, like distortion would be there, right? That would be like distortion. Yeah. And but he's definitely more like but he's definitely more like an exception, because most big streamers are super like hyped, all of that hyped and pumped and oh like guys, yeah, and this kind of just I like that too, but at some point I just get too exhausted. I know who Northern Lion is, but I only ever seen like clips of him that gets dropped to YouTube. They're pretty funny out of context, but I've never like dared to go and looked at him as on stream. You know what I should do? I just realized. Talking about real life politics is too controversial, and I don't really want to deal with it, because believe it or not, I am actually pretty uncomfortable in giving hot takes about topics I don't know shit about. Right? It's because on the internet you're supposed to give hot takes about everything, right? Today I'm virusologist, tomorrow I'm like specialist on Middle East. Like a week ago I have like a PhD in fucking animal abuse. But you know, it is very not it's very not cool to admit that you don't know something. But I'm just like that. So talking about real life politics might not be for me, but I need to start like covering fucking like tech drama. You know, like Nix OS drama and like Mastodon drama, like Debian mailing list, like Linus Torvalds crash outs about Rust. What else? Like fucking Discord leaks. Yeah. This shit I know a lot about. And I can yap. We already. Nah. Here's the thing, right? Lunduk, Brian Lunduk, yeah. He's a LARPer. He's like talking the talk. He used to be a programmer in fucking 19th century, but now he's just and here's the thing, right, about him. I used to watch a lot of Brian Lunduk back in the days, like 10 years ago, when he was like a geek journalist. He was just covering new like Linux distros and cool like terminal software, just general like free and open source stuff, and I actually liked him a lot. But now he just goes overboard. He like sees Rust, like just like word Rust, and he instantly starts fucking transvestigate everything. You know, it's just Rust is always fucking like Vogue, like transgender agenda. I think he got radicalized. I unironically think he got radicalized. I think he's like too much. He can speak, right? He is very good with English language, which is pretty easy if you're born in America. I know that when I speak, it sounds like I'm a brain dead with, you know, development issues, but this is because I'm not a native speaker. English is not my native language. So sometimes I can't put my thoughts into proper words. But yeah, he speaks very good. Like, if you want to learn how to speak, maybe you should listen to him. So I haven't watched him in a long time. It's just because he just sees a fucking anime profile and he starts talking about trans agenda for 30 fucking minutes. Like, man, not every Rust rewrite It's because of trans agenda, bro. Like, relax. I think I think he's a perfect example of a normie who got radicalized. Like, I think, because back in like 2016, we have this kind of fucking pendulum swing where people fucking cancel each other back and forth. He was like a regular left-leaning tech guy, like Obama Democrat, and there was a period where a lot of people would get like uninvited from tech conferences, where, for example, like a tech conference would invite someone, and then like people on Twitter figure out that, oh, he like I don't know, like bought like MAGA hat or something in like 2015. We need to fucking fire him from his job, and they would like start bombarding tech conference, and conference would kind of cave in and uninvite a person like 2 days before the conference. Like, imagine like a guy like bought a plane tickets, booked a hotel, and then he gets an email that he's not invited anymore. And I think he started like defending these people, like, you shouldn't really do this. If you don't want to invite someone, you shouldn't do it in the first place. And he got dogpiled, right? Because people are reactionary, so he got dogpiled, and I think he kind of crumbled under the pressure. So he got like pushed away, and it broke him, and now he's transvestigating everything. So yeah, it's like you're it's just a nature of internet, and people on the internet are just stupid, and you need to learn how to deal with it if you're an internet person, right? It's like, you know what I mean? And now we have like pendulum swing to the other direction, and now everything that has like purple color in it, that has even like a slight scent of a woman, is fucking woke. People just can't find like a fucking middle ground. It's just so fucking cringe. Yeah. It's like IEEE 754 overflow. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, middle ground is going back to God. The code of ethics. Internet made people have, it's not really like that. It's internet probably amplified it to a certain degree, but people are just always like that. And another issue is that you especially feel this when you work remotely, is that when you don't talk to people IRL, you stop treating them as a real people, It's very easy for me to call you names because the only thing I see is like anime profile picture on the internet. But if, for example, we talked IRL, we would be way nicer to each other. This is why companies that work remotely kind of try to like get together, like once a year, so you see the person behind the like Yoda picture. You know what I mean? And it's not even anonymity, it's just literally like erasure, because you can see body language, you can see intonations, because we as a people, we are not built like that. We are built for real life interaction. There's no guarantee anyone in chat is real. I mean, like there are a couple people in my chat sometimes, and when they speak, I unironically think they're LLMs. But then I go like look them up, and they have like a history of real interactions, and so, you know, maybe LLMs just got trained on them. So, you know, I think if all political issues were tackled in like in person, you know, if you can't have like a political opinion online, if the only way for you to have a political opinion would be in front of other people, everybody would be pretty chill. It's actually a very bad idea. It is actually a very bad idea. But just imagine. You need to go to a special room and like, I thereby declare. That one Twitch chatter who uses M dashes, yeah. I think Raphael was like complaining about it because he's on Mac, right? So, and on Mac, inserting em dash is very easy, so he just like uses em dashes naturally. And he was complaining that LLMs fucking killed em dashes. You can't just use them anymore. Also, people have opinions on topics that are not related to them, like people being annoyed when stereotypes are made for other countries. Yeah, I have a lot of takes about it. I remember somebody getting cancelled for like cultural appropriation. I think this is very stupid. I I just I just hear cultural appropriation, and I think this is the most like American bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. So I once, because you know, I once like saw a black guy, like black dude in Moscow wearing kokoshnik, and kokoshnik is this thing. It's kind of like Russian traditional, I don't know, like a fucking hat or something, right? I once saw like African like black dude wearing this, and then like a Slav kind of whatever this is. We call it kaftan. Kaftan, yeah. So this thing, and it was the coolest fucking looking thing ever. I was so happy to see that. And I specifically mentioned dresses because that particular like internet drama was about somebody wearing like Chinese dress or something. It was like a long time ago, like fucking 10 years plus ago. But yeah, this was fucking drip. The dude was like on it. I was so happy to see it. Oh. So yeah, that's the context in which I remember that. And I thought it's such a stupid thing. Like, what the fuck? This is more like Polish than like Eastern Slavic, but yeah, you get the idea, right? Yeah. And it's just like people. This is all of this is just if you ever have barbecue or play football. When Disney starts selling that shit, yeah. What the fuck is this 7TV mode? It doesn't load. Oh, Mexico. Mexicansh. Okay, fuck it, let's add it. Oh, I actually can't add it because I'm logged out. Fuck it. Now you can be a Mexican here. Also, think when like people getting offended on someone else's behalf. Another thing. It's like, no, dude, you can't say that. This will offend like Russians from Far East. Like, no, bro. We will tell you when we're offended. I don't get upset when Americans wear Lidenhorsen to some fake. What the fuck is Lidenhorsen? Can I Google it here? Socken. Please don't be porn. Please don't be porn. Okay, I see. Because you can't Google something in German and be safe. Yeah. We do be like direct. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like the last thing about cultural appropriation, where like Corpus boasting about it, and then Disney creates like a movie about China, and instead of making a movie in Chinese, they make actors speak in like English but with Chinese accent. So it, instead of being like genuine, it just looks like a caricature of itself. Like, hell yeah, brother, you nailed it. Yeah, I've seen it, like Donald Duck being Hitler and stuff like that. Yeah, I saw it. The Bluetooth device. Yeah. Squinty-eyed cat with yeah. Yeah, those ones. Yeah. Electrical grounding? So let me show it. So this is the thing. I did not have exactly this happened, but I had an instance of getting electrocuted by my PC case. Yeah. Electrician here. Of course, anime avatar. Grounding is not achieved by simply driving a ground rod and running a wire. In order to effectively and legally, according to US National Electrical Code, ground a metal casing, you need to run a separate ground wire from the case all the way to your service entrance. Is this a thing in America? Do you not just have a grounded outlets in America? Wait, no way it's the same in EU. Service enters basically where your electrical service enters your home from the utility. There, usually in your main panel, the neutral conductor from the utility is bonded to the literal earth via grounding rod. Yeah, this is how it is in Russia. It is also bonded to metal water and gas pipes in the home, and also bonded to any metallic parts of the building structure itself if applicable. This is also where your ground wires originate from all branch circuits. It's an extension of a neutral wire at the service entrance. Okay, so so maybe because somebody like bonded neutral and ground there, like somehow. I should have read the context. Most house here doesn't have a grounding. I wonder where, like, Philippines. Okay, Philippines. I'm blind. Sorry, guys. For those who just arrived, I am on drugs. Like on meds, so I am a little bit foggy. If it's not grounded and a storm comes and they fuck with electronics, maybe, I don't know. I know for a fact that here in Serbia, like a big spike and outage can fry your electronics, but I mean, ground, in this case, ground just doesn't matter, right? If your outlet's supposed to give you 220 and it suddenly like gives 500, like what are you going to do? No amount of ground will save you. So you either have like UPS or like you just pray to God in whatever God you believe. But yeah. But yeah, this electrician was talking about US, which for some reason I assume that this is United States without even reading it. So I'm sorry, I'm like stupid. Maybe this is actually a perfect condition for me to react to stuff, because I will get everything wrong. I will get everything out of context, and then people will get mad at me. And when people are mad, they generate more engagement. Definitely something wrong. Maybe, you know, maybe the power supply, you know, is somehow like compromised. You know what I mean? Like its metal casing touches the casing of the PC, and maybe something inside of the metal casing of like power supply is also like touching it, and it's not properly isolated, or maybe like a busted capacitor or some shit. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. This is probably something entirely different. So yeah. Yeah, this is pretty cool. You know what I wanted to try? I actually wanted to try this thing. This thing. I knew about it for a while. Do a face reveal. Yeah, I need to hide my face. Close the camera, and then 6 months from now, I just need to make a face reveal. Yeah, so there's like an editor, it's called Helix, and it has this like, what is it called? A control scheme like in the other editor called Cocoon. And what they do, both like Helix and Cocoon, is they kind of take Vim editing scheme and invert it. So you know how in Vim you have like motions, right? You have a verb and then you have like action. So for example, if I want to delete word, I need to press DW, so delete word. And in Helix, it would be you go by word and then you press delete. Because every time you move, you also like select a token, kind of like that. So it's low key like Vim, but you always have like selection activated. And the entire editor is kind of built around these kind of selections. Yeah, but um yeah, so and it's made in Rust, like, but besides the point, it's so why I don't really think that I can switch to it. I will be because first it is a terminal editor. So there is, if you go to GitHub, actually I think we can switch back to software and game development. Let me do this. Enough of just chatting bullshit. Yeah. 40K stars, damn. So there is an issue. It used to be pinned. Did they close it? Huh. Is it closed? Interesting. So anyway, there used to be an issue about making a proper like GUI. Yeah, bye bye sushi. Thanks for bringing it out. See you around. And I guess they just decided to not ever do it, which I understand. If you create a terminal editor, it's probably pretty like hard to rewrite it in a way where it is a graphical one. Or maybe yeah, maybe you're right actually. Maybe GitHub search became so bad that it's just impossible to find it anymore. But besides the point, the thing is, it has built-in tree-seeder integration, so syntax support through tree-seeder, built-in LSP, um, and it doesn't really have any plugins. It just has a bunch of built-in features. So I probably not gonna be able to fully switch to it because it's terminal editor, and the way I say it is I like my text editor the way I like my cancer, non-terminal. But we could try and get inspired movement wise. mm. Yeah, and it's good out of the box. It's kind of like fish shell. It's just very good. Another thing we could try, that was deep. I'm 14 and this is deep. Another thing that lets you get this type of editing, so selection first, is meow mode in Emacs. Root canal deep. So this is the thing called meow. It already has like 1500 stars. And this makes something similar in Emacs. You also have like secondary selection that you can kind of split. And it's also super powerful. I tried it like 3 years ago or something. Like my velocity so constant. Yeah, and there was something like, yeah, this is not very visual, is it? Like, you look at it and nothing is clear. I swear there was like a GIF somewhere that showcases it. Maybe they removed it. Huh. Was it in commands? No, this is just a manual. Or maybe explanation. Oh, there you go. So you see, you can, so you have a selection, you split the selection, and then you have like this thing where you, it's it's kind of like multiple cursors, but it's not really multiple cursors because you see you kind of wrap it around. So it's they call it beacon state where yeah, maybe here. So you split your selection by this, you change that, you get back to the selection, and this is not very impressive. This is like regular multiple cursor shenanigans. Uh, so you select, you split selection. Oh yeah, this is more impressive. You see what they did? So they replaced foo and bar on every like line by swapping selections. Hey Zulf, hello, hello. What do you think? Well, I tried it like 3 or 4 years ago, and couldn't go into it because back then it was kind of buggy. It had a lot of bugs, and it also had like a lot of visual clutter. Like these numbers, I couldn't disable them. Then I wanted to disable like visual selection by default. I wanted to only see like a pointer and a mark, kind of like 4Coder does it, and I couldn't do it, and so I just dropped it. But I really like the idea of this mm, uh, like motion and then a verb, because I do believe it is superior to the one in Vim. I think when it comes to modal editing, this type of action is better than what Vim has to offer. So yeah, maybe I will switch to it in Emacs. I might try it again and see if it's better now. Xafly keys mentioned. But yeah, I'm like I'm kind of uh, I'm like a big believer in this kind of stuff. It's pretty cool that Emacs just allows you to do that at all. One good thing about Emacs is that it is completely unopinionated about your editing scheme. You can do literally whatever, modal, non-modal. You can even turn it into a normie editor. There's a thing called QA mode, common user access. I'm not gonna enable it, but it basically enables, this Control C, Control V, Control X, Control Z, regular normie editor. You're trying to main Helix, but it's missing some features. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, putting like back then when I tried it, it was just not ready. It was uh, attractive, but it just didn't work as it should. And back then, I think it had like 400 stars or something. Now it's 1500. It's probably more mature at this point. Is it actively maintained? I mean, yeah, last month, so it's definitely still maintained. And so I think I even thought about it, that maybe I should just make my own. I even tweeted about it today, like about Emacs. I was like, yeah, so I was tweeting about Trump mode in Emacs. I was hyped about it. And then I said that like over the years I've tried escaping Emacs many times because honestly it has a lot of bad stuff. But every time I try, I discover that holy shit, turns out I relied on this particular feature that is just worse everywhere else. Right? Yeah, this is the issue. I tried to switch off of Emacs many times, but every time I tried, I realized that there was something I rely upon that just, that's just worse, or straight up doesn't exist everywhere else. And the only way for me to escape is to write my own Emacs. I'm gonna call it sheet max. Yeah. It will have 1% of functionality, so only the stuff that I actually use, but it's gonna be much faster because the bar, like, let's be honest, the bar is not very high. Hey Swanti, why would anyone switch from Emacs? Well, for me personally, it's two main issues. Two main issues. First one, Emacs is slow. We're not talking like Visual Studio Code slow, okay? We're talking just like being slow. Uh, Especially it's noticeable on 4K screens. On 4K screens. Uh, this screen is 1440p and it's like, it's tolerable. But when I open Emacs on my second monitor that is 4K, it gets slower. Second thing, yeah, it is single threaded, which show it has a non how does it called, like non-cooperative multi-threading, or it has single-threaded concurrency. Let's call it like that. So it has like list-based coroutines, so you can run stuff in the background and whatnot, but there's still a lot of stuff that blocks in Emacs. Also, under the hood, it still thinks it's a terminal, even though it is a graphical editor. You can use variable size fonts, you can use fonts of different height, but the fact that if you, for example, select the text and you start scrolling, you see what's going on? The cursor moves together with the editor, and there is actually no way to disable that. This is a terminal behavior, and this leaks into UI. Yeah, good night, Juan. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. So there is literally no way to disable this in Emacs. And this is actually how Vim works too. I guess it's just, if you're in the terminal, cursor must be in the viewport always. Yeah, this is just terminal leaks. Emacs also has issues with long lines. So Emacs is built on top of a gap buffer, which is like a data structure for like text editors. Like let me get rid of it. If you don't know what gap buffer is, it's like you have your file, right? You have like text, like letters in the text, and then so you kind of allocate a buffer for your text, and then you like allocate a additional space, and this space acts as a gap. And when you put your cursor somewhere, the entire text after your cursor gets mem copied into that space, and then this space gets inserted after your cursor, and after that the rest of the text, right? This is kind of gap buffer this is like TLDR gap buffer, and when you move your cursor, your gap moves together with the cursor. This ensures that inserts right after your cursor are extremely fast, right? Because there's a gap. But it also means every time you move your cursor, like a gap moves towards it and everything else gets pushed. So gap buffer, it just relies on mem copy being very fast. Or it's not mem copy, it's mem move, technically. It's mem move on like overlapping ranges. Yeah, so this is the data structure of Emacs. And it's easy to implement, but you can kind of see the implications first. It actually makes multiple cursors non-trivial, right? Because if you have another cursor, what do you do? And Emacs actually doesn't have blocking code issue with Lisp code spinning until sub-process has done something. Yeah. Yeah, but you see, like it's so deeply rooted into Emacs that you can't really go around it. You know what I mean? So, and Emacs doesn't have multiple cursors native, so libraries do kind of all kind of stuff. So for example, they will create overlays, so like a fake cursor. And then when you insert something, they would insert here, then they would move the gap here and insert stuff here. So multiple cursors gets very hard with this approach because I think you don't get a control over the gap in eLisp. So you can't, for example, subdivide the gap and insert, like a mini gap here. Or you can have like a gap in front of every cursor, behind every cursor. So yeah, multiple cursors are scuffed, and also long lines are super slow in Emacs. If you watch my streams, you know that when I compile the code and I forget to insert new line characters in a loop, it just gets locked up. It just gets locked up because uh, a big single line string gets inserted into compilation mode buffer, and Emacs just can't fucking handle that. I actually don't think it has anything to do with gap buffers on their own. I think it's just something wrong with like fontification in Emacs. So Emacs uses this shit called font lock to color for coloring, and I think it's just very slow or something. I don't know. I genuinely don't know why Emacs is so bad with long lines. I I can't think of why gap buffer would be an issue here, right? Because why would gap buffer has anything to do with just like bytes? I mean, let's be honest, I don't think John would write a text editor. He just has too much shit to work on. You experimented with gap buffer for your editor. You see, everybody is writing a text editor but me. I was thinking about using Focus. You know, this thing. It's a text editor written in Jai, and I even contributed to it. You can, fuck, you can see my face like right here. This is me. But it's more like VS Code replacement, and it's built kind of like VS Code, and I like it a lot. But I just know for a fact that a lot of features that they want from a text editor, I would just have to maintain in a fork. So in an ideal situation for me, I would work on my custom text editor and I would upstream some parts of it to Focus. For example, like a platform layer, so that its base like works on Linux reasonably well or something like that. But yeah, at this point, the only way for me to switch off of Emacs is probably some shit like this. Another thing that I'm very opinionated about is I would get frustrated about something in a text editor. I want to turn it off or change, and in 99% of times, Emacs just lets me do this because it has an arbitrary code execution built into it through Emacs Lisp. You know what I mean? For example, I don't like, what did I do? I mean, I boasted about high DPI, like mixed DPI support that I wrote in Lisp a lot. It's probably like a dead horse at this point. Uh, uh, But stuff like, oh shit, what's a good example? Um, yeah, like I'm using that grep, which is a package. It's like UI for rip grep. So if I press F5 and type something like dead, it will like find all instances of dead in the current project, and it's as fast. You see, like that grab just goes wild. I can press like, yeah, here it is, and I didn't like how it worked by default. And what it lets me do is just fucking uh, implement a custom commands. So it's like a custom functions that they can call, and it's just like regular code where you can add a bunch of stuff to like to like rip grab. And it's not even necessarily, so in this case rip grab exposes some stuff, extra arguments to rip grab itself that I can call. But uh, for a lot of stuff, for example, here, whoop, every time I load a custom theme, I add an advice around it to run my custom code, this code. And this code, it just disables the theme, it removes it from enabled themes, and it disables italic and bold. So whatever new theme I load, I ensure it doesn't have bold and italic, because I hate kind of mixed font weight in my color schemes. A lot of bugs in your piece table. Is piece table this complicated? I thought piece table is like all right, compared to rope, for example. Speaking of forks, commercial Emacs supposedly solves. Yay, I know about commercial Emacs, but like, come on, I'm not gonna like run a fork. That's the only reason why it survives is because some, like obsessed guy is trying to make it work. I use LSPs sometimes as Zulf. I have eglot installed and configured, so yeah, I would use it sometimes when it's convenient. But yeah, so what I wanted to say is that even though Emacs doesn't have custom hooks for loading theme, in Lisp you can literally wrap around any function with advice add, and you will just execute arbitrary code. And this lets me just modify pretty much anything in the editor. And most editors just don't let you do that. Right? VS Code doesn't let you do that. You need to like create a plugin, like register a plugin, and then write the code like in WebView or some shit, and it's very closed. Deep and angry fruit salad territory. Yeah, I know. I've seen your color scheme. I think it was your color scheme. See, I actually like Dick Mao. It's a dude who maintains. So for people who don't know, there's a thing called commercial Emacs. Name is kind of a meme. So it's somebody else. Somebody else dropped me their color scheme. And there's a guy called, I guess he's not really, yeah, Dick Mao, this dude. He has like a YouTube channel. Is this the channel? All right, yeah. For some reason, I'm not. I supposed to be. Oh, I subscribed to him on my different account. But yeah, he just basically posts about his work on like core Emacs improvement. I started watching a new video. I don't know why I didn't watch it. Let's actually watch it together.
Most developers of
And he started using AI generated voice too for some reason. This is so fucking cringe. Because he used to just record videos, right? Yeah, look at this.
Guido van Rossum's main lament about Emacs was the same as mine. Emacs lacked a robust jump to definition.
Yeah, he used to just record normally. For some reason now he uses AI generated voice. I don't know. Maybe something. Maybe he maybe he's like sick or something. I don't know.
Most developers of recent vintage can't help themselves but add Visual Chrome to a bare-bones terminal interface. It's just not cool to review AI's changes as a post-process. We need to feel involved in real time, and so Gen Z startups bring quote-unquote deep IDE integration.
What is this announcer ass voice? Gen Z founders bring deep IDE integration.
Like buttons to accept or reject AI's changes as they're generated. Here's the public demo of an up-and-coming editor's Claude Code integration.
So we can see it's made a couple of different edits here. Not only can I see the different
Oh, okay. So we have boomer vibes in our stream title, right? Yeah, we have boomer vibes in our stream title. Look at this. Right? Here. Boomer. Fuck. Boomer vibes, right? So I am allowed to yell at clouds. I fucking hate these presentations with huge as fucking cursor on the screen, and when the camera constantly like zooms into different parts of the screen to like highlight shit. This like a low attention span presentation. Every time I watch one of them, I'm about to crash the fuck out. I don't know who invented it, but in the last year or two, this style of presentations, like or live demos, I'm about to I so dislike it. I can't.
here and just scroll up and down, 120 frames.
And it's smooth out, so it doesn't give me motion sickness, but I can see if somebody like super sensitive about it would be. Also, this code is buggy. You know why? Because it checks double question mark, and double question mark returns the second part only if this is null or undefined, and if app's path is empty string, instead of being null or undefined, it will return the first part. So this shit literally contains a bug in it.
For a second. But I get this really nice review experience where I can just see all of my diffs right here. I can reject or keep them one at a time, or I can just bulk say, yep, all these look good to me. I'm going to keep all. And now I want to.
You can tell by his unrelenting positivity and mouse use that he's not an Emacs user. So,
unrelenting positivity and mouse motions. It would be 10 times more funnier if he said it in his own voice. I really hope he's okay. I really hope he uses AI voice just because he feels like it, not because, he's fucking on his deathbed. Yeah, I hope he's alright. So I hope he uses AI voice because he's cringe.
we geriatrics were relieved when foundational AI companies followed Anthropic's lead in choosing command line interfaces. The less adorned the text, the easier Emacs can engage with it.
This is actually true. Emacs is very good at engaging with text-based interfaces and programs.
The vultures and shovel makers will try to impose buttons, drop-down menus, and opinionated scaffolding like agent-client protocol. But Ed Helms at Anthropic had this to say.
That basically the model has more contextual understanding of the high-level task that it's trying to accomplish. So therefore, it doesn't need as many sort of guardrails.
Right.
And in fact, those guardrails, in some cases, become like a liability to have.
I like this guy's take, mostly because it means less work for a vulture and shovel maker like myself.
I fucking love Dick Mao. He is a natural comedy gold.
But do yourself a favor and install a more sensible libv term from commercial Emacs. Your agentic CLI will thank you.
Yeah. So he works on a lot of improvement on Emacs, and basically the way the lore goes is that he was very opinionated about Emacs features, and Emacs maintainers hated him, and I think he just at some point said, "I have enough," and just forked Emacs. That's like TLDR. Yeah. And so I don't really know about just straight up using it. I think it doesn't support Wayland. So this Emacs I'm using, it uses GTK3 backend, so it has native Wayland support and stuff. It properly scales, even though it's slow on 4K monitors. It's at least like not blurry. And oh, I thought there was like an issue with, yeah, you see, pure GTK native COM support, and he's just like, right. He's just, oh, like a boomer. I have no idea what GTK is. I just removed it. It's not needed. I don't even know what Wayland is, right? So, based. Yeah. So we are not even trying text editors today. We're yapping about text editors. You know what? I actually like text editors and yapping about them. Maybe I should become a professional text editor yapper. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. And to my previous point about not being able to escape from Emacs, so far, the only people who I know escaping from Emacs is people who wrote their own Emacs. So I am talking, of course, about for coder people. I am, of course, talking about this. So it's a text editor that a guy named Alan Webster wrote as a replacement for Emacs. And then a bunch of Emacs users jumped onto it from Emacs. You know, people who used Emacs to write C++. So him, Casey, and I guess Ryan Fleury too. They just have their own for-coder forks, because in for-coder, instead of Emacs Lisp, you write customizations in C++, which is, like you write C++ whole day, you might as well write the text editor in it. And this is also one of my pain points for Emacs, right? Because it's in Lisp, and I like Lisp. I'm a big like fan of Lisp in general, but because I don't write Lisp professionally, or I don't write it to a big extent, every time I need to write some like serious-ish Emacs Lisp code, I needed time to adjust. I need to like, get into it, get into the mood, get into the flow. And it's especially now since I kind of low-key maintain in Jai mode. So this mode, somehow I inherited it, and now I'm maintaining it. And sometimes I need to work on it. I usually personally just suffer through it, just use it. But from time to time, somebody on a secret beta like, hey, like guys, haven't you want tried Jai mode? Like this thing doesn't work, and I'm like, yeah, I know, but I'm a shit eater, so I'm fine with it. But since somebody actually suffers, I'm gonna go and fix it. This is my attitude. I don't care about myself. I care about other people. So yeah, I have to work on it. And every time I need to go here and fix something, I'm like, how do you write Lisp again? And so I would much rather have a text editor using an extension technology that I'm comfortable with. Even though I like Lisp. It's also not the low-level lang of choice. I don't know if you're talking about Lisp or C++, but I mean, yeah, gap buffers, they are not slow inherently. It's just, you know, I think for Coder also doesn't have multiple cursors, though, but it has mark. So mark is a very cool concept in Emacs, and for Coder also has it. And if I were to write a text editor, my text editor would also have a mark and a point. Like, it's hard to explain to people who never used this concept, but like, it's very cool. And I need to take my antibiotics so my tooth doesn't fall off. So I don't have any water here to flush it down. Are you allowed to take meds on stream? Do you know? Probably not really. Okay, let me take a small break. I'll be right back. I'll just go flush it down and make it be. So yeah. Be right back. Hey Stefan, hello. The fuck is, yeah, there you go. Welcome to the stream. It's going good. We are yapping. Yeah. We are usually programming here or gaming, but today I am not in a very good health condition, so today we're just decompressing and yapping. And I actually appreciate all the company. I appreciate every one of you, all the lurkers. I love you all. So thank you for joining. Are you Russian? You must be smart. Well, thank you. I am Russian, but I'm definitely not the smartest. So we are painting today. So there's like there's like a bell curve, right? And there you have like a fucking like a stupid guy, and there you have like a Jedi, right? Like a dude with a rope, right? And here you have like a midwit who's like very angry with like a funny hair, and this is me. Like this is me. But unlike other midwits, my superpower is that I am self-aware of it. I know where I am. I'm stupid on the left who thinks he's on the right. Hmm. But maybe you are the one on the right who thinks he's on the left. You never know. Well, sometimes you know. So you're trying to convince us you have 90 to 110 IQ. Me or Stefan? Truly smart person. No, not really. It's like a myth, right? Smart people usually are well aware that they're smart. Me, oh, I took IQ test a long time ago. Guys, I have to admit, I don't believe in IQ tests. I don't remember my number. It was something like 130 or 130. I don't remember. Something like 130, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't matter. I don't believe in IQ tests. I don't think it's very scientific. Yeah, Mensa test and same like 133. Like I don't even know what these numbers mean, what they're supposed to mean, right? Like what's the difference between 130 and 140? Like what's the difference between like 170? People say room temperature IQ. And when they say room temperature, since they're uneducated, they mean Fahrenheit room temperature. So like 70 degrees, which means like 70 is somehow, or what is it, 70, whatever, you know what I mean. They mean like Fahrenheit room temperature. I met a person who has confirmed IQ of 70 and struggles in life. She quotes Rust like literal god though. So you see what you mean? Like IQ is supposed to measure intelligence, but it literally doesn't, right? Because I remember this test is just like a bunch of geometrical fucking puzzles that you need to rotate in your mind. It's like fucking stupid. I don't know, like I know people joke about IQ a lot, and they kind of use IQ as a slur or as a praise. So so a lot of people just use IQ colloquially, so they don't mean IQ literally. They just use it to kind of call people idiots. But I don't know people who like unironically genuinely believe in it. There are probably people like that though. I think IQ is stupid. It's not DW, it's Sway. New fish, so it's yes, Sway. See. So it is kind of i3, but for Wayland. I wanted to switch from Sway because Sway has like an annoying, very annoying points. But I'm just... he kind of works most of the time, so whatever. Yeah. I know people who are way smarter than me, so like I just talk to them and I know that no matter how many books I read, uh, I know for a fact I'm not gonna be at that level. But IQ is just not the measurement. So yeah. I don't believe in IQ as in a measured system. I do believe that some people are inherently smarter than other people. Or maybe not inherently, maybe it's through like societal, through like some societal circumstances, through like how different people were raised or stuff like that. It's not necessarily through biology. uh it's just like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter why. It's just some people are just smarter than other people. And I used to not believe it. I used to think that, oh, all people can be equally smart, until I got drafted into like mandatory army service. And in the army, I realized that I was super wrong. That there are just stupid people. Yeah. Yeah. I do believe in talent, for sure. I mean, you have to be very stupid to not believe in it, yeah, right? It's just some people are just hardwired to do certain stuff, and it's nothing really you can do about it. Do you have anything in mind? I'm exactly in the same situation. Hey, Verve, the IQ is not on sub. So, are you saying it can underflow and you become like a god? Oh, sorry. Um, I think I'll just switch to a Hyperland at some point, and that's it. Worth. Hyperland just supports like way more protocols. For example, in Hyperland, you can, when you stream on Sway, you don't have an out-of-the-box ability to capture individual windows. So you need to install a bunch of crap to capture games, for example, like VK capture, and it doesn't work for some shit. And then capturing audio is weird. And there's a protocol that lets you capture a particular window, and Hyperland has it, and Sway doesn't have it. For example. And another alternative I'm thinking about is just KDE. Yeah. Well, what's the issue in installing Hyperland on Debian? I mean, you can just download Hyperland and install it yourself. KDE is a bit wild, I agree. It's like it's like a little bit rough because it's so customizable. Right. But I like KDE. If I were to use a real desktop environment, like a normie one, I would definitely use KDE. Can you get tiling windows on KDE? I think you can, but yeah, I definitely prefer tiling setup. That's why I would probably switch to Hyperland. Hyperland. XFC doesn't support Wayland still, right? Fully. Hello. I don't know how to pronounce your name because it's in Japanese, but welcome. I'm rocking Cosmic Beta right now in tiling mode. Oh, right, there's Cosmic 2. I totally forgot about it. Yeah, you're right. Also, 420 has experimental. Nice, nice. Yeah, I liked XFCE on X11. So maybe when they release Wayland version, I could try it. So yeah, there's Cosmic Desktop from System 76. Yo, Connor, hello. And it's like full blown desktop environment from scratch. So it has its own UI. So it's not GNOME, it's not KDE. It's completely its own thing. And they do a lot of like groundwork too. So they have their own text rendering stack. They have their own how do you call it? Fucking mesa layer and stuff like that. No, I don't think it's based on GNOME. I think it's its own thing completely from scratch. I'm pretty sure. Is it? It has GTK and workflows, but I think it's just for running clients, no? Yeah, it is definitely inspired by GNOME. It has like that GNOME look and feel, but I'm pretty sure it is from scratch. And it's written in Just. So Just is like a non-Vogue Rust clone because they're based. So they're using Just programming language. Yeah. Just is alt-right Rust fork. Let's just. I have no fucking idea what Just is. I just looked. This is the first time I see it. Just file. What? This is some make. This is literally make file that uses like penis operator from Pascal or whatever it is. But yeah, I mean, Cosmic is in Rust. Walrus. I see. All right, Walrus is what it's called in Python, right? It has a terminal emulator, like. Yeah. Rust community reinvented GNU Make. Yeah. I think Brian Landuk needs to transvestigate it. He definitely needs to get on the case. I think Rust transgenders are doing the agenda again. Brian, where the fuck are you? I think we're getting cooked. What do you think about Omarchi? I don't know. I mean, I know about it. It's just I'm not the target audience. Okay. So I'm using Linux for many years. I don't need anyone's rice. I appreciate that it exists though. I think getting a bunch of normies into Linux is very good. And I know that DHH, he can deliver polished experience for normies. He has this, ability to deliver like polished user experience. At least, like on a certain level, right? So I think he's very good at it. So I think Omarchi is very good. It is a very positive thing for Arch Linux, for Linux in general. Um, so yeah, this will absolutely happen. Uh, So I think that maybe that's what we need, because before that, Linux is just kind of a bunch of like fatties who live in their mom's basement, just like me, who like, oh, I mean, the system bricked your system. What can you do about it, right? You just learn how to deal with it. But when you have like 100,000 of normies who came to Arch through like DHH cloud, and then their system gets bricked due a system D update, and imagine all of them like go cry to fucking like Arch forums, maybe then they will fucking realize that they need to do something about it. But if your point was that Arch maybe is not the best base for a polished experience, then yeah, I agree. It's very hard to argue about it. Argue against it. So if you think about it, picking up something more stable, Pop OS, for example, or Fedora, I don't know, definitely not Nix OS, like fucking Linux Mint, maybe picking something like that as a base would be a better option. Yeah. Like, I think it's a very good thing. It's a very good thing if a bunch of normies go and try like Tailwind window manager experience. Even if they just like LARP a little bit and then drop Linux, I still think it's overall positive. They just, get a taste for it. Arch is polished until the first system update. Yeah. Uh, so yeah, see, Lars, I understand the premise. I just think um I think it's still good, but maybe not for the same reason like you think it might be good, you know. And because a march is literally like LARPs, but kind of more like less underground. This thing. Anyone like remember this? It's literally this. It's like a rice for Arch Linux. So there was this guy Luke Smith who was very like big Linux YouTuber, and this is like his rice script. Yeah. Yeah, that's his. That is his. And it is on GitHub. It's even kind of maintained still. The fuck is Vlad Doster? Some Slav, some fellow Slav is working on LARPs. Based. Use is Archer. Excuse me. But yeah. I don't know, you like send them to Ubuntu and it's kind of like Windows, but Word doesn't work. So I think there is definitely a virtue in just sending a normie into a tiling window manager and just show them something completely fucking different, like out of their comfort zone. I think there is definitely a value here. Even if there is always a possibility that Omarchi just like dies in 6 months and nobody ever talks about it. I think it's still good that it's here to Gen 2. You know, sometimes, kind of the older I get, the more I look at package builds in Arch repository, and the more I think about Gentoo. Because I look at OBS in Arch distro, the way how, in the way in which it compiled, and I'm like, bro, there's so many like extensions that I need there. I need support of this and that, and for some reason it's like the browser, OBS browser is not included, so I need to like, what the fuck is this? I could just, if I had Gentoo, I would just have my own, what's it called, like portage script, build script, whatever. Like Gentoo has a pretty like flexible situation on in customizing compilation of packages, and I could just do it. Portage, yeah, yeah, yeah. So and so kind of the older I get, the more I see the appeal of it. Because I know that, yeah, okay, it's gonna take like a weekend, maybe a couple to switch to Gentoo, but then I make it once and then I never change it. With Arch, I also don't really change it. I have pretty much the same operating system for like almost 10 years now. I just kind of copied around. But from time to time, a systemd update does break it, okay. Does like break it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I also so the rolling release can sometimes cook you, absolutely. But then non-rolling release, if it cooks you, there is just no fucking way to roll back though, right? In rolling release, you can always just like roll back systemd and stuff like that. But if Ubuntu 22 like 04 updates to like 2304 and you get bricked, like it's over. It is GG. Like that's it. Like basta. So yeah, I also am a big rolling release kind of guy. So bottom line, do we just start programming our own text editor? And with me, I know how it's gonna go. If I start programming a text editor, I'm gonna start implementing like fucking raw data structure. I'm gonna waste a month on it. Then I'm gonna create like a perfect, like fucking B-tree balanced rope thingy, and I will go so enlightened that I'll just abandon the project and we'll go back to Emacs. This is how it's gonna go. Until the first triangle of victory. Yeah, yeah. We'll have like a GPU accelerated backend with Vulkan, and then you spend 2 weeks to make a triangle, to get a triangle on the screen, and then you get this triangle on the screen and you just abandon Vulkan for another 10 years until you get an itch to try it out again. But yeah. Oh, actually, I never thought that Focus is GPL3 license. That's pretty based. Yeah. But I mean, you still need to be reasonable, right? Because the stuff that Vim uses like array of lines, you come on, you can't do that in 2025. Because every time I open like a minified JavaScript in Vim or Emacs, both of them just shit the bed, like mass in their own ways, kind of. So there should be at least some dignity in implementation. maybe not ropes, okay? Like ropes might be an overkill, but I think p-stable. I read a little bit about text editor data structures, and I think p-stable is kind of a good middle ground. What do you think about Emacs evil mode users? What do you think about it? What do I think about Emacs evil mode users? What do you think about it? What do you see on the screen? This is my Emacs config. This is what I think about evil mode users on Emacs. But yeah, so the editor that I want, right? Let's actually, people play fantasy football, you know? Let's play fantasy editor. Whoops. Let's do, so what? I'm brain farting. Right, and then I can navigate to it. Yeah, and let's create like a wishful thinking.org. Right, so I stopped, hey Owlman, you should vibe code an editor, yeah. And it will give me a VS Code fork. Stopped using Emacs when you realized how slow it is for C code. I think there's a solution online somewhere. I make it faster, but I stopped. Well, before I move on, stop right there, you criminal scum. I mean, you're a beautiful person, and I'm sure your mother is very beautiful and loving as well. Your solution is called this line. Load simp-c mode. You copy this line, you paste it at the very top of your Emacs configuration, and then in order to get simp-c mode, you go to github.com/ this, I think, rexim.files. You go to emacs.rc, I think. No. Is it Emacs local? You go to simp-c mode, and then you just copy paste this file. It's just like 100 lines of Lisp. Yeah, and you paste it next to your init-l, and yeah, this makes editing of C and C++ very fast. Yes, because original C mode in Emacs, I don't know who wrote it, but they were on fucking, I don't know, some work of some like somebody not in their right mind. I had some build server rock gentoo, yeah. I mean, I have a very beefy computer, right? So I can just build packages from scratch on my own machine. Debian testing. Wait, you're right. Debian has rolling release too, right? Debian testing is rolling. So, I mean, why not? Yeah. There is a three-seater mode. Yeah, you can also use three-seater. But bloat. Yeah, I just use this. I don't write a lot of C code, so this is way more than enough for me. I think it has one little issue, which is only issue for me, that it doesn't align like a trailing, like closing parentheses the way I like to do it. I know he, like, Toding optimized it for how he writes C code. Yeah, you see desired indentation. So he like wrote indentation the way he likes it. It's not the way I like it, but it's such a fucking minor nitpick for the value that this 100 lines of Lisp code provides me, that I'm not gonna complain about it. I absolutely love it. Gent has a binary packages nowadays. Yeah, kids these days, they don't know how we had it. We had to compile Firefox manually. The way you compile Firefox is you leave it, you start the compilation Friday evening. You turn off the header and you're fine till Monday morning. And then maybe you have Firefox. Yeah, anyway, let's do fantasies. Yeah, Helix, let's hide that. Right, so our magical perfect text editor and where is sparkles? Emoji. Wait, not this. Okay, emoji insert. Smileys, emoticons, food and drinks. Maybe symbols. Yeah, let's do gender. Let's do this. Yeah, yeah. This should be very like you know. This will be a very like gotchy bass text editor. Yeah. Okay. What should it have? What should it have? Should it be? What should it be? So first of all, first and foremost, graphical, right? Because terminals are for losers. Second of all, it supports modal editing or an ability to easily add it. So, we have like Emacs key maps as an inspiration, because key maps is one of the like killer features of Emacs. This is like the shit that makes Emacs so fucking flexible. All right, no, shut the fuck up. No terminals. No fake programming, no fake extension language. So this means like no Lisp, no Lua, no JavaScript, like no Python, what I mean. Live environment. So this might be hard without Lisp. I still don't know if you can do this with Jai, actually. It's so this is kind of like hot reloading, but built into the editor. You know what I mean? So because in Emacs, I can literally just like pop up. You see like in the bottom, or I can just open a, I can go here to Scratch, put it into Emacs Lisp mode, right? And I can just start writing Lisp code here. So for example, I can do like load theme, and I can do this, and I can do execute it. You see, I just loaded a different color scheme. I just wrote a code here in a random text buffer. Yeah, and this is just like regular Lisp code. Let's switch back to EFG. And I don't have to only switch themes here. It can be literally anything. Right? So I can I just like make frame? You see, I just made frame. So I created another Emacs window programmatically. So this is what I mean by being a live environment. This actually is probably somewhere down below. So this is not like a top priority. But it has to be no fake programming language, but it has to be arbitrary, like allow ACE, right? Allow arbitrary code execution. Here. Okay, let me do this. No interpreted languages. Yeah. Basically this. Basically, this is what I mean. So this needs to have arbitrary code execution as opposed to yes, see, scripting is fake. So as opposed to, Helix proposal to use WASM for sandboxing and other pussy cowardly reasons. Real men execute real code. Yeah. What else? So no fake extension language. This is true. What else I wanted? Yeah, man, shit in the bidet. So I lived in a dorm, in a brutal Russian dorm. I can tell you for a fact that women also do that. They also shit in the bidet. So as much as you would like to believe, it is not that manly of a feature. Я живу в Сербии сейчас. Anyway, сложно было. Нет, я купил билет на самолет и уехал. И улетел. Примерно так. So graphical model editing, ACE, no fake extension languages. So stuff like build stuff. So this is gonna be so let's do kind of like mandatory, right? And then this there was a way to org shift right. No, it's there was like basically a way in org to just shift all of these. Anyway, doesn't matter. I forgot. I don't use orc a lot. So yeah, this is gonna be 3rd level indentation. Or maybe we could do, instead of like have an indentation, we can just use this. Yeah. Children, avert your eyes. No, I like it colorful. So I'm too drugged today. Yeah. What next? And then optional, right? So life environment is probably optional. Then tree sitter is probably optional. LSP is probably optional. So it's not like a, right? So for me, it's not really mandatory. Oh, oh fuck! How do I? Ah, I accidentally hit it. Org. Fuck. How do you? Oh yeah, it's tab and tab and tab. Yeah, but there you go. I forgot. I don't use org a lot. And then yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. All good. I lived in a dorm. I have seen things no man and woman should ever see. Yeah. yeah, I live in Serbia. I'm listening in the background and suddenly hear language that I am learning. This language is following me everywhere, man. Yeah, it do be like that. There is a bias name for that. It's not Mandela effect. No, Mandela effect is different. It's like a thing that you know, when you learn about something new or you start learning something new, you kind of see it everywhere. I forgot what it's called, but it has a name. I am Serbian. Yeah, I kind of gathered that you has to be from like Balkans, right? Because Stefan is kind of like a kind of Serbian name. I am from Serbia, take me to America. I can no longer see. Or I forgot the words. I really want to see Statue of Liberty. Anyway, so this shit is all as well, by the way, Stefan. And maybe, but for me, I guess this name is associated with like Southern Slavs. Yeah. So this crab is optional. Oh come on, like yeah, it's a very common name in like Germany, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, like everywhere, probably in America too. Like Estefano in Spain or some shit. Yeah, okay. Okay, very common name in Kenya, yeah. But dobrodošli na ovaj stream. I'm pretty bad in Serbian. I vibe learn Serbian. The way I learn Serbian is I get into situations where I need to talk myself out of it or into it. And this is how I learn exclusively. With babushkas on the markets. This is how you learn the language. You have to go into emergency dentist because you're fucking dying out of pain. And emergency dentist doesn't speak English. So you talk to him in Serbian or you die. Anyway, so support for variable font. Yes. Uh, but before that, cross-platform, at least Linux and Windows. You say something in English, he starts calling out for his colleague, colleague, co-worker who knows a bit of English, who is right now like an hour away. Yeah. And it's like an interesting thing because so all of the kids in Serbia speak fluent English. I haven't met a single child in Serbia who wasn't a fucking fluent in English. But my generation and people a bit older, like uh kind of like early millennials, yeah, like 30 plus, there was like, I guess, big fashion to learn German at school or French. Is this true? A lot of people like, oh, sorry, I don't know English, but we like speak German and French. So I guess it was like fashionable, yeah, to learn German and French. So a lot of my kind of like 30 plus, yeah. So they all speak German or French. Maybe because of Switzerland, maybe because of actually like France. I mean, German has a pretty big like influence over like Serbian. Like the way Russian borrowed a bunch of stuff from like French and Turkish. Serbian just has a lot of German words. And then yeah, a lot of Serbians, a lot of Serbs just moved to Germany after they finished studying. Yeah. But then regulations in Germany hits, and I actually talked to a bunch of Serbians who kind of got disappointed in Germany and they came back. So I guess that's like a little bit of a modern sentiment, because apparently you can make pretty like good money here in Serbia, but without a lot of bureaucracy. Or there is a bureaucracy here in Serbia. It's just a kind of different kind of it. I apologize. Right. So there you go. Cross-platform. Mac OS, maybe someday when I become cringe and buy a Mac. Or somebody pays me to work on Mac. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You pay your taxes differently. Yes, a little bit differently. There's a similar kind of tax tier in Serbia as in Western Europe, but there are other tiers here as well. Most of the things on your list are redone while you write. Hey, Constantinos, yeah. I guess, yeah. Right, so this means actually a smooth performance in 4K, right? Unlike Max, who dies in 4K like a little bitch, or I guess a fat bitch that he is, because a little bitch would be swift. I hate typing on the phone. Yes, same. I also hate typing on the phone because I'm old. Right, but what else? So, I guess features of Emacs that I need. So, compilation mode. Mark. Max. This is very like crucial. Do I have like visible mark mode? Because probably a lot of people here, they don't even know what mark is, right? Let me enable it. So you see this? This is a mark. And mark is kind of like a thing that sort of acts as a tail part of your cursor. And there is always like a region between your mark and your cursor. And for example, you can exchange those, right? If I press Control X, you see what happens? I instantly kind of jump back to my mark and it visually like selects everything here. And then there is a kind of this mark, but then Emacs also stores like a list of those marks. Yay. So you can kind of like pop, like, you see like tag mark. So you can just kind of go back and, so it's kind of like Control O and Control I in Vim, but there are like multiple tiers. There's like per buffer one, and then there's per like a global one. So it's more sort of powerful. And then there's also like so you see how now I don't really have a mark here, but it's still there. You know, I can still jump back to it. And visible mark mode is just so you can see it. My editor has a mark, but I just use it for regular selection for now. Yeah, I see. So it's just, it is a very, very powerful concept. It has a lot of features. And if I press with my mouse, you see, get cursor and a mark on the same level. But then when I start moving, you see my cursor moves, but my mark stays in place. And mark is kind of for some sort of, so it just kind of stays there, right? And you can like cut, if you cut in Emacs, it cuts to mark. And yeah, it's just kind of a point in the buffer that there are certain rules when it moves, and Emacs users just kind of intuitively know at all points where their mark is. Yeah. And so if I go into insert mode and I start typing, you can see mark still there, right? And I can still kind of select back to mark, and I can do stuff with mark. So for example, you can, the way exchange in mark, I think the way exchange in Emacs works is that you like start selecting and then you do like exchange, not evil exchange. Yeah, exchange. No, this is exchange point and the mark. This is also integration with evil mode. Is it no, this is rectangular. There was like, I think it's transpose, right? Transpose. Yeah, maybe it's transpose things. I can transpose words. Yeah, you can see your mic kind of jumping back. So yeah. Scopes a new editor and it turns out to be Emacs. As I said, Emacs users never switch. Yeah. Wait, let me catch up with the chat. Biggest difference is that when you pay something, there's a slight 30% chance that it didn't get into the system, so the company sues you for 10 euros you owe them. I had this situation where I like paid, there's a special like eco tax, and somehow it didn't go. And then I got like I just got an angry letter. They didn't sue me or anything. It just like was like, hey, you have to pay it. And I didn't want to like figure it out. I just paid it again. So I just double paid my eco tax. And it's very small. It's like 40 euros a year. So I don't have time for this. I'll just pay it again. I saw something called virtual indent in, yeah, it is a base feature in for Coder. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter what your indentation is, just I don't know if I like it. It looks a bit jarring because every time you open like parents, everything below it fucking switches, shifts to the right. So your code constantly fucking jerks itself off. So I don't know if I like it. There is probably a way to make it less noisy, for sure. But the way it's implemented in 4Coder, it definitely has downsides. Write a list of requirements or a list of reasons. A list of reasons for me to write a text editor that I probably am not gonna write, let's be honest, but we'll see. But yeah, anyway, back on the mark, there's just a bunch of like functionality built on top of marks that you can use. Right, for example, markings is, yeah. So you can just push your mark to the end of the word and then, I don't know. Yeah. I use some things with marks, but not always. For example, in like in code, I would kind of know my region, so I can just use like mark define. You see like control meta h, so I would do this, and then I would like indent it or something like that. But yeah. Let me disable it. Text editor is always something I think of making but never do. Now everybody should make their own editor, their own text editor. And I think there's definitely, I think more programmers should write themselves a text editor. Anyway, so yeah, mark like in Emacs, compilation mode like Emacs. Actually, it's probably optional, multiple cursors, but if you don't build support for them right away, then it's gonna be hard. So I guess it's better to make it built in right away. We'll write another Emacs plugin. Yeah, I fucking hate writing Emacs plugins. The way I write Emacs plugins right now is I just write Lisp code in my configuration, and I never publish it anywhere. Column mode is cool macros as well. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, yeah, column mode is probably something you need, but I'm not gonna write features like this because these are kind of obvious that you need them. So this is probably mandatory, even though I'm not a big user of multiple cursors. I definitely like having them. Right, most of the time I just do this, but sometimes I do need multiple cursors. And stuff like automatic indentation, syntax highlighting. I of course not gonna write those. Line. I don't like line wrapping. So if you see me opening a second split, it's gonna wrap here because org mode is considered to be a text mode. And in text mode, Emacs wraps by default. But if, for example, I open code mode, you can see it doesn't wrap, right? So you need to kind of scroll it horizontally. So there's kind of a distinction between them. So text mode will wrap. Yeah. And it's configurable. You can disable, you can enable it. It's all kind of like this. What else? Compilation mode, I said. So I won't gear it like in Emacs, but this is kind of a question mark, to be honest. So Direct mode is one of the killer features for sure. And what Direct mode is literally mode for editing directories, right? So it's like directory editor for Emacs. And you see this epic built-in documentation. Like oil, X. No, like X and other stuff, it has nothing to do. Nothing on Dirt. Dirt is insane. Like this thing, um you maybe, I don't know, let's go to Chai, I guess. Third party Jai. Right, so this is a full-blown file manager with, where you can not only I start talking like ChatGPT, where you can not only, kind of navigate it differently, you can like fucking edit stuff in line here. So I don't know, can I demonstrate it? How do you edit things like regular? Yeah, so maybe let me actually Google it. How is it called? Oil Vim File Explorer. Does has any callbacks to Dirt? Add show absolute path toggle, and yes. Of course, there will be like Emacs Emacs users who don't have like features that Dirt has. But yeah, it's kind of a full-blown file manager that lets you do all kinds of stuff. Like you can do rectangular edits here. You can copy files around. I don't know. It can even display pictures, right? So one thing it can that NeoVim plugins cannot is it can display media here because it is a graphical UI, right? So yeah, can I showcase it? Is there a is there pictures here? Yeah, like people gonna be like, oh, there's Kitty like graphics protocol. Shut the fuck up. Where was the data, right? BMP. Thank you, Emacs. Very nice. Yeah, so you see, you can like open PNGs here, and you can like display them kind of in line as icons. Stuff like that. I know I'm not showcasing it in a very well, but I also rarely use stuff like rectangular edit. So, oh yeah, there's fucking built-in diff mode and no interpreted crap. Yes. How do you actually edit it? I forgot. Sort, toggle, or edit. No, this is toggle sorting. Is it? Oh, yeah, here. Yeah, there you go. So now I can edit stuff, right? So now I can do this, right? And then I do Control C, Control C. And I think it's supposed to be change in direct buffer undone. Actual changes in file cannot be undone by Emacs. Ah, fuck me. I just fucked it up. Ah, shit. Which of those had UI prefix? I know this one, this had. I think this had. Probably these two, and I think these two, right? Yeah, I think there was 4 of them. Well, there. I think that's all right. If something won't compile, okay, yeah, let's actually check it out. Yeah. So Emacs is definitely kind of a, okay, what is even possible in an editor space? Yeah, let's see what was there. Yeah, it's just those 4. Yeah, it's just those 4. Okay. I did it correctly. Anyway, so Dirt, maybe not full blown Dirt, but some kind of file management at least. Kind of ideally like remote editing, like Trump, kind of. So you can edit files over SSH without like needing to SSH into the box. You can just, so in Emacs, you can just do find file, and you can literally just start typing SSH, blah, 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 your host port, and path to file, and it will just work. It will use your SSH config, it will use your SSH key. If you have like authentication data saved, it will like do sudo if needed. It really tries to be very seamless. Oh, use scan keys instead of KBD. You know what this means? It means that if you like switch to a different language, you can't like use your navigation anymore. You see how it's like O is undefined, and then like L is undefined, because instead of reacting to your physical keyboard keys, it reacts to keys like whatever keyboard layout you're using, which is like super stupid. Yeah, that's like very annoying. And this happens. Fucking jump scare. Hey Alexei, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hope yours went well. You must follow him. He's doing wait, shoutouts. What? Unrecognized command? It's shoutout. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, hello. Yeah, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, he's doing some epic like from scratch like 3D game development, like triple A quality, like super epic game programming stuff. Unlike me, I'm just yapping today. Is it too loud, the raid sound, by the way? Nice. Because I don't know, it's slightly louder for me, but Heartstopper. Oh. But I mean, alerts set to very like low. So it shouldn't be that much of a hard stopper. But yeah, it is slightly sudden. I definitely agree with that. Let's actually turn some music on. Actually, whatever, no. Or yes, or no, or yes. Kinda, I feel that I'm getting cooked by a minute. Uh, what's not gonna copyright strike me? Huh. Okay, I know what. This. I see you jump. Yeah, it is a bit louder for me. But yeah, scan coast. This is fucking critical. In fact, this is so critical. I'm gonna move it like here. The first one. The most important one. What else? This is actually probably somewhere here. It's definitely lower of a priority than compilation mode. Oh yeah, so it's when you switch keyboard layout and then you can't navigate anymore. Because, for example, to go up it expects K, but now I'm pressing Russian L, even though it's the same physical buttons. So it reacts not on the physical button, it reacts on the whatever keyboard layout you have. Hey Robert, hello, yeah. I'm being pretty bad, like health-wise, but thanks for asking. Yeah. And it's actually a scene that all of the old text editors commit. So it is an issue with Vim, with Neo Vim, even though it's kind of Neo, but you know, since it's still getting maintained by Americans, they just never care to fix it. And it's so bad that even official Neo Vim plugin for VS Code also does this. Because I think they actually routed through Neo Vim. Yeah, and it's super bad. As I said, new text editors are mostly better about it, but still. Emacs actually has a workaround. So in Emacs you can do type. It's like yeah. So input method. You can say like Russian, right? So you can change layout inside of Emacs, and then Emacs will reinterpret your keys as Russian. And so it's kind of acts like you change your keyboard layout for Emacs and then it distinguishes, right? But it's stupid. I have a system-wide shortcut to change keyboard layout. Why the fuck do I need to... You know, yeah, bye Stefan. Laku noć. Bye-bye. See you. You know, like, why would I change a keyboard layout inside of my text editor when I have a system-wide way to do this? Like, this is pretty stupid. Yeah. Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, it is very annoying. Yeah, I mean, you can drop your editor if you have, like, a Linux executable, right? Sure, I can try it, no problem. And there was some like cool features in text editing I wanted to fuck with. But yeah. This is like, you know, this is kind of a lot already. Also, before all this, so what it needs to be, it needs to have horizontal splits. What I mean by that is you can, open vertical splits and you should be open horizontal splits. So like this, right? Wait, I see. So let me download it. Let's download Constantine's text editor. So let me save it. Blah blah blah. Where's my project direct? Where is my project directory? Did he fucking nuke it? Oh, no. There it is. So on his text editor is called Output, which I think is very cool. I'm sorry. Chmod plus X. So now he's gonna steal all my bitcoins. There you go. There's a text editor. You can see it runs at VSync, so 165 FPS. And you see it actually kind of stops. So it tries to be very like intelligent about, which is already very cool. So Control O. Oh! Look at this. Look at this. Look at this animation. Okay, so let's do oh my god. It gets me like, it's like way too smooth, but it's pretty cool. Probably using some fancy ass easing functions, right? From easings.net website. Right, so can I just press enter? No, you can't. So it doesn't like it doesn't complete all the way. So you need to do it. You need to like press tab, right? So it doesn't do like the only match. Yes, there you go. Scrolling it is smooth scrolling. It doesn't have any acceleration though, right? Because I'm scrolling like crazy. Are you programming it on a laptop with a very sensitive touchpad? Yeah, I can unlock my mouse wheel. Whee! The text rendering is pretty crisp. On Mac, but yeah, don't ever use. So yeah, I say so. You like just navigate with arrows and whatnot. Yeah, so you see, it's pretty cool. I mean, it works. It works like first try. Yeah, control down, control up. It's pretty smooth, like animations. I like those. Did you mention you have like a mark here? I don't see it, or was it not you? Or maybe somebody else, the text editor. But yeah, let's check the Russian one. So here's Russian. I can type it out, and then yeah, you see, control down, control up, still navigated properly. You see, even though I am in Russian like keyboard layout. So yeah, it works. I assume control F is, yeah, here. What is F1? Unknown command. It's commands. I see. So it's just kind of like, here's the mark for selection. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. The output text editor. Pretty sweet. Whoop. Cool animations. Yeah, the Russian thing works. So If I'm in Russian, I can still press Ctrl F and find stuff. Yeah. Nice. So yeah, it works. So this is what I was talking about like respecting, respecting the scan codes. Will it crash if I just infinitely? See, it doesn't crash. If I blow it out, it also doesn't crash. Whee! Oh shit! Look at this. It like regenerates font atlas at like insane sizes. But yeah, thank you for that. It uses GLFW. And I assume OpenGL, right? Or are you, oh, it's GLSL. So are you using Vulkan as a backend? Ah, OpenGL Angle, I see. So use Angle, yeah. Not yet created. But yeah. I mean, cool, it works. It's like just a single executable. But let's look LDD. So it uses X11 backend with GLX. So it was only smooth. Wait. So is it only out smooth because it's yeah, so it is. So I opened it on my 4K monitor that doesn't have scaling, and yeah, it's a little bit like blurry-ish there. But yeah, I mean it's because it works through X-Wayland. Yeah. Ah, yeah, I see. Yeah, that's kind of the issue. So you have to fucking link against everything, right? But yeah. Like, your editor is good because it does this out of the box. Which is like, it is logical because all of the modern platform backends, they just do it for you automatically. It's just because Emacs and Vim, like GVim to kind of, they use like super outdated code paths for that, and nobody cared to update them. Unlike you. Yeah, so we can decrease the font at this point because there's a lot of shit here. Anything else we forgot? Yeah, I think that would be the start for me. I don't mention stuff like syntax highlighting, indentation. This is kind of a given. And yeah, variable fonts kind of down below, but yeah, I like having variable font support. Or sometimes you just write a regular text, and when you write regular text, I like regular fonts better. Excuse me. Yeah. I know stuff like find and replace, just regular like grepping, this should of course work. But yeah, the thing I miss from Emacs is an ability to get modal support. Yeah, I don't like the terminal editors. I know why people like it, because you the only thing you need is a good terminal emulator, and then you're gonna set. And you don't need to worry about all complications of graphical stuff. Like, come on, man. And yeah, I guess it's not that much. I'm not asking about like Git integration. Like, you know, maybe Git integration, right? Inbuilt hex editor. Yeah, you know, actually an ability to open very big files. Because sometimes I need to work with like logs, you know, with server logs. And, you know, or like, so server logs, huge comma separated, you know, files. What else? Minified like JavaScript, Ulmao, you know, stuff like that. And Emacs and Vim, they don't cope with stuff like that very well. They just usually, like, Emacs would like just hang for like 20 seconds and then it would open the file. And then if you like disable font lock, you disable couple modes, it will maybe tolerable. Vim is like, Vim opens it relatively quickly, but then every navigation is slow. Optional? It's the main reason I still use VS Code. No, I use Magit in Emacs. You know, even if I build my custom text editor that has all I need, I might as well still use Emacs as my Git client. So some minimal Git integration can maybe be fine, but I can always use Emacs as my Git client. Because I mean, Magit, let's be honest, it's the best Git client out there. I've tried Sublime Merge, I've tried IntelliJ stuff, I've tried like GitHub Desktop. I mean, what can I say? Like, Magit is the best one. The only downside of Magit is that it's an Emacs package. And yeah, Lars, thanks for hanging out. Bye bye. I will also go to bed soon. Like, what can I say? Magit is just that good. Yeah, second try. Yeah. Have a good night, everyone who's like fucking off for bad purposes. So yeah. I guess that's the starters. That's the start. That would be a start. I don't even need like fancy animations, even though, you know, when I say smooth scrolling included, I like smooth scrolling in text editors. Emacs actually kind of has it. You see, you can kind of see it's white, but it is smooth. But it is only smooth because I have a very powerful machine. If I open it on my laptop, it will fucking choke. "3 a.m. It's 2 a.m. for me." But I guess that's it. That would be my fantasy text editor. Or I guess where it would start. And yeah, so that was a pretty cool yapping session. Because smooth pixel perfect scrolling is implemented in eLisp, and it probably like fucking garbage collects on every pixel. And it probably like tries to repaint everything. So yeah, that would be my guess. There is definitely a perceived continuity that you break when there's no animations. So sometimes not having animations is good is when your brain knows exactly where you will land. You know what I mean? So for example, when I switch to this view, I know that this window should appear on the right. My brain expects it. And when my brain expects it, it wants it to happen instantly. Because it knows exactly where it's gonna be. But when you don't really know where it's gonna be, so for example, when you do this, or I don't know, like let's open some other file, right? So I don't know where my cursor here would be. And so if the cursor would like whoop, okay, it's here now. Emacs has like a beacon, no? Oh, it's a third-party package, right? So Emacs beacon mode. Is it like this? Yeah. So let me bro, what the fuck is this? Yeah. So every time you jump around, you see it's like kind of does a little animation over your cursor like this. Physiologically knowledgeable? I don't know, I'm just old. So you see what I mean? You kind of like jump, you jump without animations, but then there's like a little kind of tail, like fading tail that follows your cursor when you jump around. Yeah. And highlighting the line, you know, my line highlighting is very subtle. So when I just like jump the cursor, you know, sometimes it's enough, sometimes it's not, but to be honest, I don't really like line highlighting a lot. I'd maybe even disable it like this. But then you like jump around and you're kind of lost. I actually cursor like somebody somewhere like here, and you don't have it. It's just like, well, where am I? So for me, maybe it would be better if the cursor like blinks a little bit, fades out, and then I don't have it. Like, I don't know. Maybe that would be better for me, as opposed to constantly having it enabled. Support, ability, yeah, but yeah. Animations is like, whatever, right? Maybe it's like the first optional thing I would implement. And yeah, I don't know if I would ever do it. This is just, as I said, wishfulthinking.org. And in the fantasy editor directory. Oh, I mean, like I wanted to type like meta X, right? But it's kind of obvious. Every editor now has like command palette, right? This thing. So I don't really need to specify that as something special. You know what also would be cool? Self documentation. Just like in Emacs. In Emacs you can just do Control HF and then what is a GIME mode? Is an auto-loaded interactive blah 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 in GIME mode at L. minor mode derived from inherits blah blah blah, right? And if you go to gmode.el, it leads you to the code. So if you could do something like that with Jai, this would be fucking insane. Or like you can do a variable, for example, pixel scroll mode, right? If non-nil if pixel scroll is enabled, where is it defined in pixel scroll.l? Here is everything that's related to pixel scroll, and yeah, it's literally a pixel scroll implemented in Emacs. So that would be cool. I don't know how you would achieve something like in Jai, unless you build like some index of all the code files you load, right? With like every existing function having some kind of a yeah. Yeah. It's it is something for like other people, probably not for me. But you can imagine that if you want to like quote unquote sell your editor to other people, this would be like OP thing. It probably doesn't beat an interactive tutorial, right? Like we have Emacs. Yeah. Yeah, Emacs has a tutorial, right? Built-in like tutorial. How do you even help Emacs tutorial? Yeah, so and if you do like help with BAM, Emacs tutorial. And it's kind of like Vim Tutor, and it just teaches you how to use readline to navigate around. Yeah, it's very kind of common way to learn text editors. It just drops you into the text file, when if you kind of just follow along, you will edit it in the expected way. With additional magic, right? It lets you save your position within the tutorial, so then you can come back and continue. It's just like the way Emacs is interactive is just fascinates me, right? So this is it is very cool. Emacs did stack in the 90s. But at the same time, it's far in the future. But yeah, I think it is time for me to go. I am way too tired to rate someone like realistically. So if you want to watch somebody, feel free to find someone. And yeah, everybody on Twitch, everybody on YouTube, have a good night. Hopefully, I will see you not in a week, but somebody soon. And maybe by the time I have recovered enough to not just yap, but maybe do some actual programming, or maybe play some video games. I don't know. Yeah, where's the fucking OBS? Yeah. Bye everyone. See you next time.